Right, you guys, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Mike's, okay? Make sure, if you don't subscribe to Mike, you're gonna have a fat forehead and a big hairline.
I'm with the guy Max inside. Subscribe to him, make sure you do still. Best content coming out. You know how it is.
Hello, welcome back to another video, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing if you're new. We're trying to reach 1K subscribers before the end of the season, people. And yeah, today is a bit of a different video, I guess. I didn't think news was going to come out today about West Ham United, but here we are. 4 players are going to leave on a free officially, and a couple of those players have been here for quite a while. And let's get into it. Obviously, I can't share this just in case of copyright or anything, but West Ham put out a club statement saying that Aaron Cresswell, Lucas Fabianski, Vladimir Coufal, and Danny Ings will depart when their contracts expire at the end of the 24-25 season. 4 members of our Conference League win squad all played their part in one of the most successful periods of West Ham United's history, and will depart having made a combined total of more than 800 of first-team appearances between them. Cresswell, who is 35, will leave after 11 seasons in the Premier League. Fabianski, who recently celebrated his 40th birthday, winning Hammer of the Year in 2019. He played 250 times in 7 seasons. Vladimir Coufal, who's turned 32, signed in October 2020 and made 180 appearances. Whilst Danny Ings, who's 32, as a host so far, made 69 appearances. That's mad. He's made 69 West Ham appearances, but in 2.5 years, we were in Europe, but he barely played. So 69 appearances. That's mad. He's not far off from 100. Danny Ings, a lot of substitution appearances, but let me break this one down. I guess. Obviously, everyone kind of knows my opinions on these players. No offense to Danny Ings, but let me get Danny Ings out of the way because it's less important. With all due respect, of course. With Danny Ings, obviously, we should never bought him in the first place. It was a difficult one because it was around the time where, of course, Skamaka wasn't either doing well, even though he wasn't getting any service, or he was injured as well. And we signed a bunch of players to play a possession-based system, then got ourselves in a relegation battle, and then we signed the Danny Ings because Moyes wasn't a Premier League proven striker. Signed him on big wages because it was in January to get him off Aston Villa, and then they went and signed Durant. And that was one of the worst deals we could have made. So, yeah, we've managed to mess ourselves up ever since with that deal. Nobody wanted him in the summer. Well, not even nobody wanted him. There was teams that wanted Danny Ings. He didn't want to leave. He knew he was going to get like an agent bonus. He was going to get a bonus by leaving on a free. So I don't know where he's going to go next. Nor do I care, to be honest with you. He did always try. I think the fans booed him a couple of times. As much as I'm all for booing players if it's warranted, I don't think the Danny Ings one was warranted. Not because like he was a great signing or anything, but to be fair, was it his fault that he got signed to play in a system that didn't suit him again? Like he's a 2 up front striker, and Danny Ings has never played in a 2 up front for West Ham. He only played in the 10, and that was the best time we ever saw him. Don't think he's a bad player, Premier League proven striker, but we're West Ham United. We don't do that around here. We don't set you up for the best environment to thrive. Nor do I think we should have signed him in the first place. Aaron Cresswell. I'm quite in the anomaly stage of Aaron Cresswell compared to other West Ham fans. I'm for one that doesn't really rate him as high and doesn't call him a cult hero and doesn't think that he should deserve a testimonial. I think being here a long time automatically gets sentiment at this club for this fan base. Do I think he's a bad player? I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a heavily overrated player. I do think that he's only had 3 good seasons as a starter at this club. 14-15 season, 15-16 season, and the 2021 season. Every other season he's been wishy-washy and getting done by wingers and having Declan Rice cover him for most of the back end of his West Ham career and should have left last year, in my opinion. Don't think he's been bad as a squad player this season, don't get me wrong, and he'll probably get a good send-off. Cool, it is what it is. But I think any senior player that refuses to train for the club trying to get a move to Lopetegui's Wolves side. And this has nothing to do with Lopetegui, by the way. I'm not, I'm angry at Cresswell because he tried to move to Lopetegui's Wolves side. I'm mad at Cresswell for refusing to train in that time because people, if this was any other player, if this wasn't an English player, like, the fans would be onto him. I'm just saying, the fans would be onto him. But again, it is what it is. When you have 3 good seasons out of 10, 3 good seasons out of 11 where like they're very good, they're very standouts. I'm not really going to call you a cult hero just because you were here for a long time. I'm sorry, I like consistency. I like consistency. Nor do I think he deserves a testimonial, in my opinion. If Antonio ain't getting one, he definitely shouldn't get one. So I'm not trying to hear it. To be honest with you, I think he's done well for the club in the seasons he was good. Like, he was one of the best players in the West Ham team in that 2021 season. I think he won Hammer of the Year in his first season. He was amazing when his debut season. One of the best debut seasons I've seen at West Ham for sure. For sure. And to be honest, you won't see many like that. Like, there was Cresswell, Payet, Coufal, who we'll get on to, Thomas Souček in terms of first full season. Like, there's a lot of good debut seasons out there. But he just wasn't consistent enough. Very one-dimensional winger. Relied a lot on the crossing ability that he had. Very good in dead ball situations. Some very good moments for the club, but he's a moments player. The amount of times this guy got skinned was unbelievable, but he got a blight. He always got a blight. I'm not going to use the Frankfurt thing against him, as much as he was a bit of a bozo for doing that. A lot of people were saying, he should have apologised. And no, I don't believe in footballers putting out statements to apologise. You don't do, we shouldn't be doing all of that. Who cares? Like, you make a mistake, you move on. It doesn't need to go on social media. Very respectful in terms of the way he carries off himself. But I think if you refuse to train in front of a bunch of youngsters when you're pushing 40, I don't think you set good as a good role model at the club. But that's my opinion. I know I'm in the anomaly in that situation. I know people are going to be mad at me for that, but I don't care. It's my opinion. Vladimir Coufal. Who gives a fuck? With all due respect, who gives a fuck? But listen, a lot of people like him just because he's a good character. Again, 1 good season out of 4. Very good debut season. Fantastic debut season. Was probably the best right back in the Premier League not in terms of ability, because Trent, Wan-Bissaka, Reece James, etc. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, as in performance-wise, he was like the best right back that performed in that season. In terms of, he had the best performances in the season. He deserved team of the season. I'm pretty sure even Carragher put him in the team of the season. Funny enough, very crucial to why we got Europe, and had a very good performance in the Conference League final. Was fucked because of an injury to the Nemanja Matic in his second full season. And then Moyes playing him with the injury against Leicester when we drew 2-2, etc. Very one-dimensional player since the injury. Lost his ability to go up and down, and he's panned out the way he's panned out. He's very one-dimensional in possession. Got a good cross on him at times. Very inconsistent. Very easy to play against. And since that injury, he's been very easy to play against, even as a winger, to take him on and skin him 1v1. And that's something he didn't have in the first season. In the first season, it was very solid, but everyone has my opinion on Coufal now. Begging to play and stuff like that. Begging to play and complaining about game time and I want to be settled and all of this. Well, hopefully you go to Fulham then, because you was begging for a move to Fulham in January, and then now you can move to Fulham if they want you back. So he leaves on a free as well. I don't know why people are gutted that he's leaving. Well, just because he's a good character. Like, we need good players on the football pitch. I don't get it. Someone who, for me, should get this is going to be an unpopular opinion, and I know people are going to make the joke because apparently I look like the guy. But I think he should get the best send-off out of the lot. Lucas Fabianski. As much as I don't think when he did make mistakes, he didn't get enough criticism at the time. For me, very consistent player for the most part. I have to say, very consistent player for the most part. Like, every time this guy got injured before the times we bought Areola, we would be halted quite a bit. Darren Randolph was a good backup keeper, but in that period of time in the 1920 season when we had to endure the footballing ability of Roberto Jimenez when Fabianski got injured, that was probably one of the worst periods of time to support West Ham in recent times, especially London Stadium era. Very crucial, very good goalkeeper. Like, as much as I have my thoughts with every single player at the club, but if I'm talking about overall at the club, probably one of the most consistent players I've seen in terms of just performances. Got us out of a lot of crucial situations, was a big part of why we were successful as of recent times. Very good debut. He's up there as well with debut seasons. I don't remember if he got Hammer of the Year. Did it say in the club statement? I think it might have said in the club statement he might have got Hammer of the Year. He did. He won Hammer of the Year in his debut season, 18-19 season. Listen, he's part of the team that won the European trophy as well. I think he deserves a great send-off. I think it's the right time to move on because I think we need to move on from both goalkeepers, from Areola and Fabianski. I think he probably would have wanted to leave last year because he didn't like the fact that he was second choice in the end. But I don't know. He is a good, solid goalkeeper. He could probably do it for another couple of years for a Premier League side or whatever. I don't know whether he wants to go back to Poland or maybe just chill out there, or maybe he wants to stay in England because he's been here for so long. But credit to the guy. He is actually going to be quite sad that he's going to leave, but at the same time, it's the right time to move on, in my opinion. But this is all my opinion. I think this is the start of a clear out that we need, in my opinion. Again, as I keep repeating, a lot of players need to leave. A lot of players, in my opinion, I need to stop saying that, but a lot of players just need to leave. A lot of players need to leave so we can have a new spine, a new era of the squad, some more vibrant players. We need to lower the age of the squad, and all those players are 30 and above. I'm not saying 30 and above means you're a shit player, but Coufal and Ings are washed. Fabianski can do a good job, but 40 years old. In my opinion, because we need to address so many. I said in my opinion again, for fuck's sake. Because we need to address so many positions, I would have personally triggered another year of Fabianski's contract and sold Areola so we get a permanent first team keeper, and then we move Fabianski on and then get a backup next season. But I assume Areola's going to leave as well because he hasn't been up to his usual self under Potter necessarily. He's had some good moments, but he's had some weird moments as well, like the one against Bournemouth, for example. So I'm assuming he's going to be part of the people that leave. If he's not, then cool. It's not as much of a priority as striker or left wing or midfielders or whatever, but I still think it's somewhat of a priority to change the goalkeepers. I'm not saying specifically in distribution. Just get me a goalkeeper that isn't, that has a working brain, like that can save shots and kick a ball. Football's a simple game, but he needs to be part of that. And we know the other players that need to be a part of that. We'll go through that at the end of the season. But there's so many players that probably should leave. That this is the start of the clear out that we need. And we're only like 5% done of it. Like getting rid of these 4 players and letting them go on a free is cool. It's actually not ideal because we're not going to make any money off them. We probably weren't going to make much money off many of them anyway. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We need to look into the youth academy. Need to look into the transfer market and get some cheap players, and see if we can get any gems. And we'll see. We'll see how we can rebuild the squad. I don't watch other leagues, so I don't really know any other gems from other leagues that we can replace these players with. It's going to be difficult, of course. But it's going to be a long summer. If I don't see a busy summer, which ex-West Ham employers said we're going to have a busy summer again, then it's a long day for us. It's a long season again for us, which I am not excited for at all. I do not care. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social media social media is in the description if you want to follow me in the email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Take care.